Okay, today we're going to go live and talk about our last video.
We're live on Instagram now.
Can you mix love with money? Follow us on Instagram, Two Diverse Moms.
And Facebook and Twitter.
And it's a little rowdy. We're not having a party. We still social distancing. It's just two people that are playing video games. So yeah, sorry. I feel like I'm going to be looking for
You gotta be kidding me!
You don't have to look at this one.
Well, I don't want to not look at the people's.
You don't got to. Hey, Lisa. Welcome. Our topic today is finances and money and relationships. Do you guys believe that you should have a joint account, or do you feel like you should have a separate account? Is the question at hand. Hey, Sandra. Welcome. The topic again is, can you mix love with money? So we're asking, do you feel like you should have a joint account or a separate account?
We're used to it. Don't worry.
I can't. Look at this one. I can't. We're Bob dog. You can't go live here. She's so stupid.
I don't know. You can watch lives on the computer, but
Yeah.
you can't go live.
Both is good, and so their purpose is pretty dark.
I think y'all should have
Open
a
that
joint
curtain.
bank account for everybody.
Can you go live, man? Can you come in the room and go live?
You gonna see my whole backyard if we do that.
Y'all
Yeah.
live already?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I think that's better. It opened
Put it
up
back
some
on.
light.
There you go. You can see some. So.
I'm not a fan of joint accounts. I don't trust people with my finances. I feel like you should have your own account to do what you want, and the joint account should only be for bills.
You got your wife walking through the middle and shit.
The light is far.
How about you get up and turn the light on? You ain't doing nothing.
Hi, cousin. Right? I told him to be quiet. He over here playing 2K, and he over here
They
losing
said
his
be
mind.
quiet too loud. They can hear you. Oh, okay. You
That's
made my
right.
forehead big. So, I mean, I feel like if you do have a joint account, you should also have a separate account, just because.
And then you should have a separate account from that to hide stuff.
Hello. Fuck the Rules podcast. We appreciate you joining it again. Hey, Mama. We're doing if you should have a joint account or if you should have separate accounts if you're in a relationship. We're talking about finances and relationships.
Yes. There's going to be a lot of editing over here.
It's fine.
Says the person who doesn't edit.
This nigga called timeout without
Hey,
brother.
George.
We might have a surprise guest for y'all
We
to
might.
talk about finances.
We might. So stay tuned.
She's gonna come.
What are you guys' opinions about finance and relationships? Do you think
My big cousin said be quiet.
you too loud? And then
He don't even know what I'm talking about.
He ain't even care.
I'll get back to you. Thank you.
Do y'all have any questions about finances? Do y'all share finances? Do y'all share joint accounts?
You running
Or do y'all have your own accounts?
Me and my baby daddy got the same one.
So do you only have one single account?
So we have several accounts, but we both have access to all of them.
If she don't come over here,
I don't know
They're
why.
gonna see me if I get over there.
You don't want them to see you?
If you guys don't know, we're over here talking with Credit Connect.
Credit Connect is in the room, so she gonna just come on in this live. We gonna slide over. Two diverse moms might slide out.
Oh, I guess I just like
thank
this.
you. Don't
Yeah,
because
because she can see right here. Yeah.
Hi.
So if y'all don't know,
I don't know how we all gonna fit. Maybe
For real,
we
because
just-
I look huge. Which one is this?
this
This
is
is for
recording for
YouTube.
YouTube. So if y'all don't know,
we're gonna try to make this work, y'all. We're gonna try to make this
this
work.
is I am at what's your Instagram tag?
I am Courtney J. That's Courtney with a K.
Yes, she's with Credit Connect. So for all
She's
y'all
the
who know,
owner of Credit
Oh.
Connect.
yes,
Pull it.
And she is currently fixing my credit.
and mine.
Am I?
Everybody in
You
the house.
ain't even in the live.
Well, shit, I'm white. I got like a 750 something right now.
Yes,
And
so
she
pretty.
is amazing. I've
She
seen
is.
changes within 30 days.
I have.
So I was just asking her if they have joint accounts, and she said they have several, but they have access to all of them.
Yeah, for sure. First off, I'm gonna say I'm married. We've been married for about 5 years. We got 2 kids, so there's no money that comes in his account that I can't spend. You know what I mean? Like, if it's with him, then it's with me, unless it's bills, and then he got it.
So, well, they have several accounts. Are any of them a joint account? Or are they?
Yeah.
Are you just signers on that?
No, we got joint accounts for like 2 or 3 of them, and then we have like individual accounts too for most of the places. But like the ones that we actively use every day are joint accounts.
Got it.
So we both have the same cards and like logins and stuff.
We only got one single joint account, just one lonely little baby account. But
Okay.
I have more accounts than he has. But that's only because
But
I
he's
do a
a
lot of
cash
accounts.
person.
Yeah, he's a cash person. And I do a lot of account transferring for bills and things. Because I believe that you should have an account for everything that you're dealing with so you know where your money is going. Because if one account with bills coming out and your shopping and all that coming out of one, you lose track and focus of where your money is going.
True.
So if you actually split it out, then you know exactly like, okay, well, in a year I've spent this amount on rent, this amount on utilities, this amount on groceries or whatever, however you split out your accounts. But at least you can see where your money is going. Whereas before I would be like, the bank don't know how to add because I could have sworn I budgeted to where I had so much money.
left.
And now it's not that. So what's wrong with the bank's math? But now that I've split out all the accounts, now I realize where my money is going.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I made Jamal do a spreadsheet.
Oh,
I asked my husband to do a spreadsheet. Yeah, I was like, hey, because we have a business and we have like so many different bills that come with that. I just want to make sure that we were actually bringing in money and not putting out too much because of the overhead cost for the business was like ridiculous. So he put it out on a spreadsheet so we could see everything coming in, everything going out, and you know how it was doing.
Do you guys think that it does make a difference when you write the bills down and actually look at it instead of just actually just swiping as you go?
That really makes sense. Like, I think you should. That's a really good financial tip, to write it down or to separate your bank so you know exactly where stuff is going. But I'm really lazy, so I usually don't do that. Leroy will write them down, or he knows with the spreadsheet, and he just kind of says, like, we have a regular account where most of the money goes in, and then we pay ourselves from that, and we only spend, like, the money that we pay ourselves to.
That's
so everything else is just in the savings.
I
So
have
it's
to write
on-
it down because I'll forget to pay something. Like I know they come
Oh,
around
yeah.
once a month, but if I don't write it down, then I will forget to pay.
That's how I said my cable was off yesterday, but
See, you see that? If you don't write it down, sometimes you forget. So if you just join us in the
Yeah.
room, we're talking
Yeah.
about finances and if you are in a relationship, if you have joint accounts and separate accounts.
Because if you don't write it down, not every bill has the same due date. So
Yeah.
I pay everything at one time, regardless of the due date. So yeah, it's the easiest.
Yeah, I mean, I try to pay everything at one time. I'm not the person that pays exactly what the bill is. I try to pay an even number because that's just me. I don't like the cents. I just need to pay an even amount. That's just how I operate.
we need a bottle. Oh, let me go. Mommy do the
She'll
call.
come right back. She's mommy doing it.
Our lives is real raw rap, real.
Because she has to make sure she juggles everything. Put the shoebox like the hustlers do. Oh, put it in the shoebox like the hustlers do? Yeah.
You don't trust the banks?
Yep.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes just people just don't believe in like the bank systems at all. Somebody told me you should always keep at least $40 cash in your in your pocket, just because you never know. Well, you know, my brother thinking he need a blue face everywhere in his wallet, anywhere he
can't
go.
do the shoebox because then I won't have no money in it. I always spend it. I can't do cash.
I mean, I've been better trying to keep cash. I feel like my daughter keep more cash than I do now. I don't know. It's hard. I'm not really a cash person. And I just feel like it's so nasty dealing in the financial industry as long as I've been in it. I done have boob money, sock money. Cash is just nasty to me.
Just think about all the booty clapping money.
Yeah. And I worked on a strip by it, so I done had, it's nasty. I don't like cash. It's nasty. I had to get money at the ATM the other day because the bank was just crowded. And I was like, I gotta touch this. So I don't know. What are you guys' comments? Are you laughing about the booty clap? I don't know. Money is nasty. You ever had somebody take their money out their boob and it's all wet and just soggy?
I think that's disrespectful. Like you should at least took it out while you were walking around or something, to where I don't see that it came out your boobie. I like having both.
Oh, like, okay.
Having both what?
Cash and debit card.
I don't like having both.
I mean, sometimes it's okay, but now with Corona going around, it's a lot of places that's not taking cash. Like my coffee place that I go to, they won't take cash at all. You have to have a card. See, it is disrespectful. I hate sock money. Put it in a Ziploc bag and put it in the freezer. Okay, let me tell you a story. It's story time. So when I was working in disputes, this lady got a new freezer and she had so much money in her freezer. She had forgot. She got dementia. She had them come pick up the freezer. Okay. This lady had like $60,000 in her freezer. And her daughter thought that all the money in the freezer was like old food wrapped in napkins in the Ziploc bags. And her daughter did not know that was her mom's savings. And she told them to come pick up the freezer. And she was disputing that when she bought a new freezer. So the people that picked up her freezer from Lowe's,
they took the $60,000?
Baby, took it all. Okay. And tried to use that as a dispute. And we couldn't do nothing about it.
She wanted to dispute it because she was like, y'all got $60,000 for me. I'm not paying for this refrigerator.
Yes.
Oh, she was a real one because I wouldn't have paid for that shit either.
Because she asked her daughter, what did you do with the money that was in the Ziploc bags? So,
but I would at least think her daughter would have thrown it away.
She didn't go through nothing. She thought, okay, just take it as is. They was like, take whatever you want and put it in this new freezer. And she was like, this is just old food. $60,000. True dispute story.
Wow. Me and my daughter would have to fight.
Yes.
We'd really have to fight.
I used to put it in the freezer because you know it's fire resistant and all that, but I don't even believe the freezer story no more. So, I don't know, man. You got mattress don't work because it's a fire. I say get your own safe if you don't believe in, the banks.
No, because I've actually had my house broken into and our safe was stolen. And I'm like, you can't even get in it. What you still in?
I mean, if they know the little tricks to get into it.
I mean, yeah, you got to bang it and you got to do some work, but it wasn't no money in it, so they bad.
The Crossing Podcast, you are in a relationship. Do you guys believe?
I feel like in my head, I know you be easy, but
do you guys have joint accounts or separate accounts? Just because I know you guys are in a relationship, do you guys believe in mixing money with finances? That's what we're talking about. Joint accounts.
Does only one person of the relationship handle all the finances? Like, is the wife only one that does all the financing, or is the husband? Like, who takes care of the bills? Is it a joint effort?
Oh, you was drinking this?
No, my water's over here.
Oh, she said you was drinking.
And she said, hey, y'all. Yeah, we're just trying. That's our topic for today. Mixing love with finances. I mean, I have stories about how we had a joint account. It wasn't the best thing. He used to overdraw it all the time. And I used to
again, that's when we got to fight. And now I got to cut you out of that joint account. Because why you got to keep overdrafting? Why
I handle the small bills. He handles the big. Okay, and that's my thing. When
you say handle, do you mean like you pay the small bills and then he pays the big ones? Or do you mean like you manage what goes on with the little bills and he manages what goes on with the big bills?
And that was my question in our YouTube. Like, he pays like the mortgage and you pay like the utilities or like things like that.
Because I honestly don't think that he'd be able to survive with paying bills on his own.
Come on, Credit Connect. Come on back in here. Come on back in the room.
I'm back.
Credit Connect is coming back.
Hey guys.
You gotta turn it back sideways.
How to make that bottle?
You can't read the.
Yeah, but overall, I handle the financing for our household.
Okay. But do you guys have a joint account and separate accounts?
Like, if you take money out, do you gotta tell him? If
and see, that's another thing. I'm not asking for permission to use some money.
Okay, so I do, but I don't. It's more so like a heads up, since we have the same accounts,
which is smart.
I don't be like, oh babe, let me use $50. It's more so like, hey, I'm gonna spend a little money on Amazon today. Like, I just bought the boys a new bed. Hey, I'm gonna spend $90,000 today, and then he's just like, okay, or fuck you, and then I just try to figure out from
did
there.
You even look at what was in the account before you just start swiping?
Right. So
it's basically like just a heads up.
Yeah.
Sorry, I gotta get close.
See, my issue was
we have a joint savings, but we also have our own account. So they have a joint savings.
See, I like that. My biggest thing is I hate the fact when you don't use the correct ATM and you have to pay ATM fees. So you can't, I don't understand.
Oh, so your girlfriend was doing that? Yeah, and then you gotta pay ATM fees.
My ex, they don't want to know all the time,
and he don't even care.
No, at all. He never cared. And I'm like, you don't understand. That's money. $5 is adding up every time you just swipe.
Right.
I have a credit union. I could go to any 7-Eleven
yes.
for free.
Yeah. Just look for, if you got other banks, it's banks everywhere.
And I actually like credit unions more than regular banks.
Because they're better.
Yeah, I can't.
She came over.
I can't deal with the regular bank because why y'all charging me to put my money in here?
Yeah, right. She brought it in. Because
credit unions are definitely more lenient with the stuff that they give out to their clients too.
Yes.
I get free checks. I get free account. I don't have to worry about having a certain balance in my account or having direct deposit into my account. That shit is stupid.
It
I
really
like credit
is.
unions much better. I mean, I've been with the credit union now for 4 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And
I have them damn bank fees out of network. Oh, I hate them out of network banking.
Yeah, I hate it.
I didn't even know they had that.
Yeah.
That's stressful. It's a lot of banks that do that where you have to only go to their ATM where they charge you.
Yeah, and with credit unions, you have more options because you can use co-ops, you can use, different things. Banks don't have that option for you. So yeah, I'm not a big fan. So you just joined us. We have the owner of Credit Connect.
Hey y'all.
If you're looking to get your credit repaired, if you're looking for some business advice, she is your go-to. Give them your IG tag, how to find you.
Oh yeah, y'all can find me on Instagram at I am Courtney Jade, as Courtney with a K. You can find us on Facebook at Credit Connect, 2 words, credit and then connect, And then I have a website called thecreditconnect.org. So you can find us both those places, all those places.
And like we said before, she's fixing both of our credits currently.
She got us looking real Beverly Hills. Trans, you been hating on her though. Don't she got them though.
But she's working on it. We both have plans to invest our money into some properties,
Yep.
and I'm looking to get a new car. So why not get my credit shining
You're
before I
actually
do
ready
that?
for the car for sure.
Yeah.
Actually,
Don't
both
be
of y'all
putting my
looking pretty good.
business out
Okay.
there.
Just
Don't be
kidding.
putting
She's
my
not.
score
She's
out
not. Her
there.
score is like 404. Just kidding.
First of all,
Wait,
She said it was good. It was good. It was really good. It's not
Wait.
404.
No, but I never knew that like a
I-
400
you can't-
credit score existed.
Yeah,
Listen,
it's possible.
I didn't know that.
So
yeah.
Like 404, I would never have thought that would even be a possibility. Like I thought like the minimum was like 500. What is the minimum credit score?
It really depends on where you're checking it because some places will have it where it says like a 398. I think is the lowest that can go. Depends on where you check it, but
See,
most of the
bro, you
places,
see
the ones
that?
that's most common, start at
398.
400 and then it goes to like 850.
Okay.
So it depends on where you check it, but the most common it starts at 400.
I really want to get to 850, 800. I'm trying to get there.
I can't see what it says. You read
She
She said, "Damn."
Fuck Rules podcast. Me as the man, I take care of the bills. My wife keeps her money for herself,
Okay.
but she tries to help. But I will never take her money. Look
Do
at you.
that, sir.
Okay. So I'm glad you brought that up because I was saying on our last YouTube video, I was saying that I've never been in that situation and I don't know how I would be able to handle that. Like you're paying all the bills. Ooh, baby.
Move
wouldn't know
with
what to
open
do with my
arms.
money.
Handle it with open arms. Thank you, sir. We're
But
together.
I don't
You
know
got
what to
me.
do with
I wouldn't know what to do with my money. I would be always saving.
Invest
I mean, yeah.
or shop.
Mm.
I don't stop for me to do that.
You a
No.
damn lie.
I guess everybody would choose different.
He got a
things.
brother. I hear you,
Girl. Yeah. Do he got a brother? You got a daddy?
An older uncle.
Hey, hello, my husband, like right there.
Yeah.
No, the comment says that. That's
Oh,
what the
I
comment
thought y'all was
says.
talking about that. I was like,
No, not for me. The comment says, does he have a
No,
brother?
I'm asking. Do you got a brother? You got an older uncle? I asked. I sure did. That they can get the side eye from over there all they want. I don't. Them is
Somebody
my brother
said, where's
sitting over
his
there.
granddad?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
Oh,
he
I'm
does
a PM
have a
you.
brother.
Fuck you. Fuck the Rules podcast. Okay. I'm back, y'all. My phone was tripping. Okay. Nephew, sit your ass down over there next to your daddy. I'm
because we
here.
cussing.
Anyway.
Yeah, we were talking about.
Oh, look
I
at
never
you.
knew that
Look at
a
her
400
face.
credit score even existed, and she was saying that a 398 exists. Which I feel like if you're at a 398, you need to throw it all away and start over and call Credit Connect to fix it. Because why? Why would you be at a 398?
Honestly.
A 398?
So
I
the
asked
reason that I've seen people
that
that have credit scores that are
I get
at 400 or 398, usually 400, is because they have a lot of late payments, they have a lot of missed payments, and they have things like repos or evictions. All those things are definitely like it's credit debt, and it just takes your score down. And the longer you have it, the less points you'll have because it just keeps counting against you.
Okay, I'm gonna let y'all know. I'm real honest. I done had a bankruptcy and my credit score wasn't even that low. I didn't even know it was possible to be that low. I'm just saying.
I didn't know. I wouldn't even think.
398. I didn't even know
Like
it was
they
that
don't
high.
even start you off at a 398.
No.
What is the start off?
What do you
credit?
get? What is
So
start off credit?
typically you start off at basically like a 0. A lot of people don't know that too, but you start off at like a 0 credit score. Well, you don't build from like 1, 2, 3. It'll start at like maybe 400, but Usually it goes up really fast after you make your first couple of payments on whatever it is that you got that started your credit.
Got
So
it.
you'll start at kind of like a middle ground, which is just nothing on your credit. So if you never had anything, like maybe if you check your kid's credit score, it would just say a dash because they don't have anything in
It's
their
a
name.
dash.
Right after that dash comes, you'll maybe get an inquiry, and that will give you a score probably like 400 maybe.
Got it.
And then after that, you make a payment on whatever you got the inquiry for, and then it'll start going up from there.
So speaking of kids, like we have teenagers, would it be smart to put them on one of our credit cards to start to build their credit and their credit history, or should it wait?
So the thing about that is it could go multiple ways with that. If you want to put your kids on your credit card, it will be beneficial because it would give them a score right now, but not necessarily like if they were to get the card. I don't know if you want them to use the card or not.
No. We're not going to give them the card.
It doesn't really matter if you put them on it now or if you put them on at 18 because it'll take all your back history from your credit whenever you do it. So it doesn't matter if you do it right now or if you do it in 2 years from now. It's not going to add anything because it's just going to take your personal
What your
credit
history is
and put
on
it
that credit
it.
card?
Right.
Okay.
So it doesn't really matter when you put that card on.
A 0 is the starting. Okay, look at you, be easy. Am I saying that right? Is it be easy? I believe it is. Laugh out loud at a 398.
Yeah, a lot of people, I feel like our culture, a lot of us do not know about
I asked
credit.
first, so I got dibs on the brother.
It's okay. I'll take the uncle. I'll take the uncle. It's okay. I need somebody seasoned in the game. It's cool.
Okay.
What you say?
I don't know. My brother in the background talking and chiming in always, and my daughter over here giving me the side eye. But no, I feel like in our culture we're not educated on credit. That's why I'm glad we have somebody who can teach our kids at a young age about credit, so they can know as far as what they should know about credit. And here go my nephew chiming in.
She
Jesus.
said, laugh out loud, not seasoned.
Yeah, they gotta be like the beer gotta be seasoned too with a little grain. See,
Let's
I'm
talk
trying to talk
on
about,
this
I'm trying to talk about credit. Stop it. I'm trying to stay focused.
It's really important. I think a lot of I know my culture, my background, my people, they did not tell me nothing about credit. My mama told me when I was little, like, don't get no credit cards in your name, don't get nothing in your name because it's just going to get you a higher interest rate. You're going to have to pay a lot of money and you're going to die broke, so don't do it. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, right.
So I just didn't get
that.
anything. My mom was like, just leave it alone, don't get nothing, don't get no debt in your name. And that's what I thought, like,
So
make
you were
have
just
good
paying
credit.
cash on
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, pretty much until I got my first car when I was like 21. I got the car, or I was trying to get the car, and they were like, "Oh, you ain't got no credit, ma'am." And I was like, "How you got no credit? What you mean? Like I ain't never did nothing bad, so I should have good credit." And it was like, "No, you don't have any credit, so we can't trust you basically because we don't know how you pay stuff back."
Isn't that crazy how they say bad credit is better than no credit?
And it is because it actually shows a payment history. Where if you don't have no payment history, then they just don't know what you're gonna do with the money.
Exactly.
It might be like, "Oh, she's gonna get this car and drive off and never pay us nothing because we don't know anything about you."
That's the plan. I should be able to drive off the lot and then refinance for what it's worth now because y'all be playing with these depreciation values of cars.
Absolutely.
Hey, Yvette. I'm burning one of your candles right now,
I was
girl.
burning it before I left the house, Yvette. I love your candles. But yeah, another financial person just hopped in the room. But in my experience, we started off with messed up credit because we had people, well, my experience, bills in our name.
Yeah.
I have a light bill and I'm only 15. Or how I got a phone bill and I'm only 10.
That's
how did they even get away with that?
Because they didn't have to match age and ID. They didn't have ID numbers. All
they didn't really care
like that. They didn't care.
They just took a social and
then deposit.
Yeah.
Put in the social and deposit, and then they put power in that person's name.
And then they didn't even need a deposit because we didn't have no credit at the time. So
you was fresh. That's why they put it in your name.
Yeah. So they had it. That's why they used us because they didn't need a deposit.
Right.
They needed a deposit.
I didn't learn that my credit was bad and I had a bunch of stuff on it that was not me until I went to get my first place.
I didn't know until I went to get my first cell phone bill. And I was like, wait, I don't owe y'all no money. Somebody said so. I can't read.
It says
Exactly. Mom's had everything in my name.
Right. Want to tell her, Mama, this is my house.
That's
All I do
okay.
is in my name.
That's okay. That's
But
definitely fraud.
Yeah.
But you can take care of that with credit repair.
I had to take care of fraud. I've had identity theft a couple of times. One time it got so bad to where it was a judgment ruling and they started garnishing money out of my account without me knowing.
That's crazy.
Like I didn't even know that they were going to be doing this. And next thing you know, I look at my account and everything was wiped out. Yeah. And the only money that was not wiped out was what was in my joint account because they couldn't take it because his name was on it. And I still had to go back and get my money. No, they didn't. He don't know what you're talking about. Again, I do all the finances.
I know exactly what he was saying.
Laugh out loud. This is me, Net. Hey, Corey.
So yeah, so having identity theft is a hassle to try to get things back because people be like, that's your name, that's your social, it's you. We don't care who started it.
Yeah.
That's you. So
Yeah.
you're the one responsible.
But
which
now
is
you
really
know
hard.
you gotta fight.
Yeah,
And that's what a lot of
identity theft
times
is
we don't know.
not easy. Not easy at all. And I know that the hard way.
So monitoring your credit is the way to help with that. I mean, it won't stop you from getting
Right.
identity theft, but you'll know right when it happens so that you can stop it before they start taking all your money out. That's stressful. Somebody got me too. They took one of my cards, I think, from the mailbox and ran it up. I'm talking about they was living good. I think they did like $3,000 in a
Yeah.
bar.
Yeah.
I don't know what they just
At
went
a
in there and said,
bar?
everybody drinks on me.
Yep.
$3,000, and they swiped my card for the transaction. So when I called the bank, they were like, "Oh, well, you swiped your
Your
card."
card was crazy.
And I was like, "Fam, that wasn't me." They was
Match
like,
the
"Well,
signatures.
you know, everything's good," but eventually I was able to get the money back on the card, but they really got me for that one.
Yeah.
I had someone actually, they must have cloned my debit card
Yeah.
because they were at ATMs taking money out and I had my debit card.
That's
I had
crazy.
to go get notarized statements and everything saying like it wasn't me because
Yeah.
I had the card, but they were using the card to take money out of the ATM.
I.e., why they have chips now. Because
It was
Oh,
during
yeah,
it was during the chip season.
But yeah, that's why now they verify if it's a chip and not a chip. That's why it's easier.
My credit union didn't have chips at the time, so now
Yeah.
they switched over. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, scammers is out here living their best life
Yes.
No, for real.
at the mercy of other people, which is
Yes.
crazy.
And it's harder. I get so angry because it's so much harder for you guys to verify, or it's harder for us to
Said she never
verify.
put stuff in the kid's name.
It's harder for people to verify that you are you when fraudsters get away with it so much easier.
Yeah, it's so easy. All they need is to get something out of your mailbox. And
Yeah.
I'm one that all that junk mail goes straight in the recycle,
Yep.
goes straight in the trash. I don't even
Right.
look at it, open it, nothing.
It's easy to get all your information.
That's why
And
we
it's
like
easy.
shredded.
And I just saw one thing, I guess we on the scammer tip, where there's some people that are going into these cell phone places and getting like your cell phone information and putting it on their own phone
Yeah,
so
they
they
clone.
can
They
verify
clone cell
everything and
phones.
they have access to
Yeah.
your account. So if they're calling or verifying anything, they can automatically do it with your phone number.
They clone
That's
your
crazy.
phones. They make sure they can get the text messages.
Mhm.
I've been in the financial issues for so long. You wouldn't believe. I had this one customer. He was calling in, verifying the text messages that we sent out, the fraud alerts,
Yeah.
calling in, acting like it was him. It was crazy. This man almost got away for like 2 weeks, but he couldn't pass like the questions that we asked. That's not in public records, and that's
Right.
how we caught him. But he had basically got away with it for 2 weeks.
My thing, and maybe you know, for when you're like, because I've always had like a credit alert, so if I try to access any new credit, they have to call me and ask the stupid questions.
Mhm.
Where do they get those questions from? Because why are they about other people
It's public
and not
records.
about me?
The
It's
questions
public
are
records.
supposed to come from your credit, like your actual credit file. So usually they ask you about when you got your car, like what year it is, when you got the auto loan. They want to know how much your payment is because that you can usually find in
Those
your
are
credit.
never
No,
my questions.
What do
no.
they ask you about?
No,
My
those
questions
are not those
are
questions
like-
she's talking about. They're public records questions. So they're
Like
based
my
off,
grandparents, what age are they? What
They're
range
ba-
are they in?
but
Or,
they're
Who asked you?
or where credit or financial institutions?
because they're
or
based
like,
off public
or
records.
where
Okay,
does
I don't know how
where
to-
does your great grandpa own a property? Like
That's
what if
crazy.
I don't know this
That's what
information?
I'm
Why
telling
is
you.
it
So they're
like that?
based off
Shouldn't be
public
a
records.
question.
Yeah, they
It
never
should be
asked me
based
any of
to
that
me.
stuff. I don't
So
know.
you're talking about credit bureau questions.
Yeah.
The questions that you're talking about are based off public records. So those questions are based off public records. So they pull them from like questions based off something that's just in varied questions that are based off things that's in public records. So if you don't know, the sad part about it is say if you were adopted.
Right.
So say if you don't have any relationship or don't have any relationship with your family members, you're not going to know those questions.
Right.
Right, and so that's
And
why
that's
I'm
why
like,
they have to
why is that being the
apologize.
question?
And
Because that's what I was
then
saying.
that's when you tell them I don't have any relationship with my family members, and they're supposed to ask you questions
About
based
you.
off where you live at or things like that.
Yeah.
No,
That's
because
crazy.
my bank account was actually just locked for online thing because I have an alert on my account, and they were like, well, we have to ask you these questions, and we can only go through them twice, and if you fail them both, then you're locked out completely. And I'm like, but half these questions y'all are asking me aren't even related to
Because
me.
they can't ask credit bureau questions because the perp can have your credit.
That's smart. Yeah.
Oh.
They public record questions, and it's not our fault. They're just they pull them up, and we don't know what the questions are going to be.
That's stressful.
They need to
But
get
what
list the
happens
questions.
if you're not what they're supposed to do? If you can't answer their questions, they're supposed to transfer you over to somebody that's high risk, and they're supposed to be able to ask you some different questions that are not based on public records.
Y'all hear this banking places? Ask them different questions. Thank you. Oh wow, Be Easy said, "Oh wow."
Yeah, I'm sorry. There's a lot of things in the financial industry that you don't know that there's a lot of things that pulled up because credit bureaus, any perp can get that. So that's why they try not to ask.
And a lot of these fraud people are doing they're doing their research.
Yeah.
Just how they getting these older people to send them payments for the IRS and all that stuff. I actually had somebody call me and say I owed $3,700 to the IRS and I had to call immediately or they were going to pull out a federal warrant and come arrest me. And I was like, okay, well, arrest me because I got a tax return. So how do I'm here. So how do I owe y'all some money?
The IRS will never call you. They're too busy. They will send you something in the mail. I promise you, they will never. You can owe them $50,000. They will never call you.
And that's my thing. People try everything. But for someone who doesn't know, you automatically think, oh, my God, the IRS is calling me.
Exactly, because they call me every year.
Let me make this payment.
And if they got an accent, I promise you it ain't the IRS.
The fake IRS call me every year talking about something I need to pay or they finna come get me.
I be like,
I do
real?
too. Yeah.
Okay, hold on, let me give you my debit card.
Right.
I will play with you to the end.
I've seen one where they gave a Target gift card number instead of a debit card.
I feel
and the person was so upset.
No. So one time this old man called me into our company. He had gave these people almost $500 of Apple gift cards because that's what they wanted. They wanted the Apple gift cards. And I was like, sir, why would you do that? Why would the IRS want Apple gift cards?
The IRS wanted Apple gift cards.
Why?
Something there should have been like,
yeah.
What y'all gonna do with Apple gift cards?
Maybe not. That's probably his grandson.
Yeah.
Give me some Target gift cards. I'll be happy.
Because Target is high.
Target is high. Why is Target so high? And why do you go into Target with a list and walk out with more than your list?
It's marketing. I love them.
I don't know. What are they marketing? Because it's just in the store.
No, but it's the way they put it. Like, if you go see the cereals and all the kid cereals is really low, so the kids see them and they're like, oh, mommy, give me this one. And then you're like, oh, well, it's just, buy two and it's half off. And then you're like, oh, it's a sale.
This is the second time we went live and you talked about Target. I just want you to know that.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not talking about Target no more. They're not paying me.
You see? Why she keep talking about Target, y'all? We talking about finances. She's talking about spending money. Spending money.
I feel like it's frozen. Is it moving?
No, it's probably because ain't nobody commenting, man. Hey.
It's okay.
I will put Courtney's information if you guys are looking to get your credit repaired in the description or link it somehow. I wonder, can you pin two things on the IG? Okay, thank you. Thank you, teenager, for that information.
I'm just, it does work. I know you guys see a lot of things online saying, I can fix your credit.
Yeah.
No, it do work. I'm dead serious.
Having someone firsthand actually explain what they're doing and actually give you information and actually communicate with you is the best thing ever.
Yeah, she's really fixing credit.
Y'all are so nice.
Her and her little associates. Big associates.
The difference about us and other credit repair companies is that it's independently owned. A lot of people y'all see on Instagram or Facebook looks like they might be their own company, but if you go to their website, it kind of looks like a generic website that has to do with a lot of other companies that are related. And most of the big credit repair companies that I know about are Lexington Law, FES, and UCES. These credit repair companies are all linked together. So the person that takes your information and takes your money doesn't actually do credit.
Yes, spending money is part of finances, but spending money is also a bad habit.
You should try to invest.
For me personally. Courtney does. Oh, she asking personal questions. She said, King is not here, so she can't answer that.
What'd she say?
Does King's mask fit?
Oh, yeah, he's not here.
Spreading personal business. This is the open forum. We could talk about things. I don't know, probably because we said we're getting our credit fixed. My credit is being fixed because I had identity theft on my credit and a little debt that I needed removed.
Or you could be getting your credit fixed for just getting inquiries removed.
Yeah, because inquiries do bring you down.
Yes.
Especially when someone is, I didn't realize that a lot of these, when you get credit card offers in the mail, they're softly running your credit in the background so they know that you will possibly qualify.
Pre-screenings, sometimes they're soft inquiries. Hard inquiries are bad. Like, even when you go to the car dealership and you like, I don't like this payment. Can I get another lower payment? Those are hard inquiries.
Yeah, they try to run your stuff through somebody else, another bank, over and over again until they get the numbers that you want.
Yeah, and they don't tell you that.
No, they never say that.
Oh. He was talking about his grandmother asking about the mask.
So yeah, if you want to find out anything about credit or Credit Connect, please make sure you hit her up. She's wonderful. She does respond. If she doesn't respond immediately,
Because I know her personally, and I still be like, I didn't mean to text you, but I have a question.
I don't want to overwhelm her.
Get to me when you can. I know I'm not important, but
No, it's not that.
Like,
I do have
I
a
really
team
feel
that-
bad, like reaching out, even to her team. I feel bad reaching out to them because I'm just like, I know y'all really busy.
That's
and
what they be doing all day,
question
so you can definitely hit them up all day.
Matter.
Then I was like, "Is this really your assistant? Who this?" And she was like, "No, that is." I was like, oh, "Okay." But yeah, if you guys want to know anything about credit, please make sure that you hit them up. If you want to know about what's going on, once this whole COVID is over, she also has people to help you buy houses, find out some programs that's offering. If you're in the Nevada area, she's really on board to make sure that our people know about what's
successful.
going on. Yeah.
What is your new business venture where you're helping small businesses? What is that?
So I have a business consulting firm. We help people start up businesses. We help them grow businesses. We help them get business funding for whatever kind of stuff they're trying to get. So maybe if you're about to start your business and you need to get a little bit extra funds, we help in that area. And we can also help them with marketing, branding, advertising, everything business, like any kind of business questions you have, any kind of startup or build up things you might want to know about, I can help out with that too.
Yes. So make sure you guys hit her up. Make sure.
Yes, because we're about to hit her up for our podcast so we can get marketing and branding.
Yeah, we're going to make sure she's going to be on one of our podcasts. I mean, she just happened to be here. That's why we made sure she just came in.
That's what my hair looked like. I stuck my finger in an electric socket.
She's still beautiful.
Natural beauty.
Thanks.
Yeah, so we just want to make sure that everyone is aware so she can help. And you know, she does not. What my mama said? What?
Somebody said, Be Easy said, that's awesome.
What mama said?
She said, "What kind of payment methods do you take?"
She take all payment methods.
Let her speak.
Yeah, I take all payment methods.
Dang.
But I do have
LJ said I
invoice
accept
thing,
cash.
so I can send an invoice and then you'll be able to pay with however you want to pay.
Do you accept cash?
Not typically, because I don't really see people that often with the COVID thing going on. But if I need to accept cash for somebody locally, yeah, I would.
Slide it in the mail, wrap it up in a piece of paper.
No, we don't take COD. I'm not about to play with her.
LJ said he takes Cash App.
For what? You don't do nothing, LJ.
LJ finna work for me, watch.
She's gonna put y'all all
I'm
to work.
about to work for her.
I keep trying to
with
tell
this
her I can be her
COVID-19
assistant.
layoff.
She keeps trying to tell me I can't.
I'm finna hire one of these kids to be a nanny to watch my kids. Okay, you want? I was talking about you or LJ. LJ probably. He usually don't even help. So
I'm just gonna put it out
Somebody
there.
else said something.
Callie Bud 70 said, "Thank you for the good information."
You're welcome. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you guys.
How often should somebody check their credit if they're not using like a Credit Karma? Because some of those are only free for one time thing.
I think you should monitor your credit on a monthly basis because it takes nothing but like you said, 30 days. Somebody could be having your credit card, using it, and you won't know anything about it unless you're looking at it actively. Mm-hmm. So at least if you're not working on it, if you're not trying to like better it, or you're not trying to like do anything with your credit, like get a house or get anything, you should still monitor it every 30 to 45 days. Just kind of check in and make sure that everything looks about the same. So you don't have like 20 inquiries on one bureau that you didn't apply for,
Okay.
Because that's a sign that somebody else is running your information for, fraudulent purposes.
Is
So.
the main bureau TransUnion? Is that what most people look at?
Nope.
Because they seem to be trying to hold the system back.
It just depends on what you're trying to get and what kind of banks it is.
Okay.
So each one of them uses something different. Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. They all, like some places will use two of them. Some places will use all three.
Okay.
Some places just use one. It just depends on what you're trying to get.
And when I went through the process of buying a home, I realized that a credit score and a FICO score are two different things.
So in a way, a credit score is kind of like the umbrella of it, and then they have a FICO and a Vantage score. So both of those are two different scoring models that they use to get your credit score. You'll see different ones depending on what you're looking at, like Credit Karma or Identity IQ, or if you go to like a car dealership, you'll have like a car credit score. They'll pull a different model of your credit score.
Okay.
So they might say, well, your FICO is this, but your Vantage score is this, and you'll be able to get the car because maybe one of those scores lines up with one that their bank is looking at.
Okay. Is it better to run your FICO every so often just to know what like your overall is?
So you don't necessarily have to like pull your credit ever. You shouldn't try to pull your credit. You just like look at it just regular, like on the Identity IQ. That one is good enough to see everything that you need to see. And the score, I know a lot of people are really wrapped up into just having a really high score, but the score really doesn't matter as much as what's in your file. Because you can have like a 700 credit score, maybe only have one account on your credit, and then still get denied for everything you apply for because you don't have enough credit history. So we're not necessarily checking for the score all the time. You want to look at the health of everything. Make sure you don't have anything negative, anything in collections, any missed or late payments recently, because those are the things that get you kickback from lenders.
And is that what you go through as you look at people's credit score and try to make it a healthy score?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
So we don't even guarantee like a certain point increase. Most of our clients do see like huge increases, like, 100, 200 points, but we don't guarantee that. We just guarantee the health of the credit file, because that's what's really going to make a difference when you get down to talk to these big lenders about houses or cars. They want to know, can you make payments on time? Can you balance debt? So if your debt to income ratio is okay. And then if you're desperate for lending or you desperate for money. So they want to see like, do you have 50 inquiries on your credit or just 2? If you have 50, then they think, oh, that's a risky borrower. They've been asking everyone for money, but I don't want to give them because they didn't get none from the other places,
That makes sense. I never thought of it that way.
Got it.
I've always thought that the score was important, not what's on the credit report.
So also, when you say there's an account that's been on there longer, that matters. So you shouldn't close older credit cards.
That's correct. If you have old credit cards that have good positive history, like you don't have any missed or late payments on it, keep them open because your credit age factors into your score. If they close the account, they take that one out of the algorithm for your credit age. So say you have that card open for 10 years and then they take it off and that's the only thing that you had, your score would drop significantly because now it just says that you only have like a year of history, or maybe you have like half of that. They take off that information. It's not, active anymore.
Okay, because I know the reason why I asked you that, because a lot of people I know they'll close the card just because the APR is too high.
Yeah, so that's difficult. But if you have a decent credit score when you go in to get that credit card, then the APR shouldn't be too high. Like they can make your interest rate lower based on, what your credit score is. So keep it open. Just keep it a revolving line of credit. You can only just use $5 or $10 on it so it can stay open, because the credit card places will close it. The banks will close it if you don't use it for a certain amount of time.
That's happened to me too.
So just make sure you use it and then pay it off.
Got it. So then you don't have to worry about paying the interest on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is it best to use a credit card for your monthly expenses and then pay it off so you can keep accruing the usage of it?
That depends on what kind of credit card you have. If you have some credit cards that are really good, that are helping you with, points. Like if you have credit cards that's giving you a lot of points, then yeah, that would be beneficial in that aspect. But I don't necessarily know if you would want to put all your bills on credit cards, because then you'll have high utilization and that would take your score down too. So okay. I don't pay no bills on credit cards just because it's too easy to let them go. I did that one time with Facebook ads, and I was in trouble after that month because I wasn't looking at it, and it was just running up my bill.
They just kept running.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, this is great. I'm getting so many clients. I don't know what's going on. And then the end of the month comes, and I spent $8,000 on ads.
And you didn't pay it before it reported to the credit.
Right.
Over the 30%.
Exactly.
Okay.
So when that happens, it takes your score down, and then you have to hurry up and pay it down. So I would say just put something small on your credit cards just to make sure they stay active, but under 30% for
under
sure.
30% always. Okay.
Yeah, I was mad when they closed my account.
Yeah,
I didn't use it.
They should tell you, but sometimes they don't.
They sent me a letter that said, we closed your account because
Inactivity.
Yeah. And I was like, if you would have told me, it was a furniture product, I would have went and got some furniture.
I would have done something, right?
But I would have got something, a mirror or something.
So that's my thing. What do you feel about department cards? Ever needed, not needed, department store cards?
That depends on your credit. If you already have 5 open active accounts that are doing really well, then no, you don't need a department store card, because it's just one more thing that's going to take away from your actual credit age, because they have to add that one in and factor it into your score. And so no, I wouldn't get that one. But if you don't have any cards, you're just kind of starting out and you want to get a credit card, because those are easier to get than a regular credit card. Maybe you go get a JCPenney's card and then buy, a little bit of school clothes or whatever you're trying to get, and then pay it off right away. Then that's healthy.
Okay. So how many credit cards do you feel that one person should have on their credit?
3 to 5 active open accounts.
3 to 5. Got it.
So you're gonna help me open some credit cards? Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And while you're in your program, do you suggest that anyone opens any credit cards?
So I would recommend the cards that they need to get. Most of my clients come in and they don't have that many positive things, so I always suggest a secured card. A lot of banks won't approve you for even a secured card if your score is not great or your credit health is bad. So I have one that people can apply for, and almost everyone gets approved for it. And that one starts reporting to all 3 credit bureaus like within 30 days. Yeah.
What's the minimum on that secure card? Because I know some have like a $500 minimum, some are $100.
This one is $200, I believe.
Okay.
Got it. So you feel like if someone has a bad credit score, they should start with the secure credit card?
Yes, if they don't have anything on their credit, yeah, for sure.
That's how I started.
That's how you start building and, just showing the lender, I can manage that and I can pay back on time. And they're going to say, okay.
Because really a secure card is just you borrowing against your own money.
That's exactly
so
what
they
it
don't
is.
have any risk towards it, but they could charge the interest and get that money.
Right. That's exactly why they do it.
I need to open up a credit card company. How I do that?
I was just about to say, explain to the people what a
Open up a
secured
bank.
and non-secured credit card
Okay, so secured means that you're securing it on the other end from the lender, like with maybe your car, or you can secure it with money. I know a lot of y'all probably heard of like a title loan. Y'all heard of like a title loan? So that's a secured loan. You're securing it with collateral. So you say like, okay, I'm gonna borrow this $500 from you guys, but if I don't give y'all that money back within this time frame, y'all can take my car.
Yes.
Essentially.
Got it.
Not really good business, because if you don't pay that money back and your car worth $5,000, they're gonna take it, and that's
Title
more
loan is the worst
that's just that.
loan you could ever get.
Definitely. You don't want to put, like, if you can help it, you don't want to put any stuff that
I'm
you
sorry.
have for
What
that.
was your question, Callie Bud? Last thing I saw, or no, that was LJ. Boy, he said instead of being a Manny, can I be an employee for Credit Connect?
She said that.
Yeah, for
If you was
sure.
paying
All that. He
attention.
said a Manny. He's so crazy.
And a
I thought a
non-secured
Cali
credit
better said
card.
something. Sorry.
What was you saying? Because LJ the message.
I thought it was Cali Bud. The pictures look
The
similar.
secured card, you put up collateral, and the unsecured cards or loans, you don't have any collateral except that they will put something negative on your credit.
Can you explain to the people that a credit card is not their money?
Credit card is not your money. Literally said, credit card is not your money.
A
Let
lot
me
of
say it
people-
again. It is not your money.
They
That's
have
the
to pay
bank's
it.
money, and when you get it, you got to pay it back. And if you don't pay it back, it's going to be on your credit.
Yes.
And they can bother you so much, depending on how much it is. They can take legal action. They can
Yes.
put it on your credit.
Yes.
They can put, like, garnish some of your wages if it's like a federal debt. It's a lot of things they can do. So you want to pay it back. Or at least be in open communication with them when you can't pay it back. Because a lot of times you can call your bank and let them know, hey, I'm not going to be able to make this month's payment because I had maybe a death in the family, or coronavirus took me off of work, and they might defer your payments so that you don't get any late payments while you're, dealing with whatever situation you have.
Speaking of coronavirus, a lot of people are being laid off and can't make payments. So should they be contacting their banks and things? Because I know some companies
Yes.
are trying to give discounts and trying not to report late things to people's credits.
Yeah.
But are companies still doing that without telling people?
Oh, absolutely. There's
Okay.
lots of companies that are still doing it. They're still running regular businesses. Like they're not doing nothing different from it. But there are also a lot of companies that are doing a lot of things that are helping people, like deferring payments for 2 or 3 months, or just adding the payment to the back of their plan so they don't have to worry about it for a couple months, taking off interest for a few months. And there's also some companies that have insurance. Like if you guys have not a secure card, what's that, the medical card, Jamal, that people get for, you don't know about Care Credit.
I
If you
was
guys
about to
have
say
a
that.
Care Credit card and you used it, y'all need to call that bank, and Synchrony Bank, I think it is. Call them and ask them if you purchased the insurance on the card, because there's a way that they can actually pay some of your balance. Because if you haven't been working, they'll pay some of your balance because you've been paying interest, or what's it called, insurance protection on it for a certain amount of time.
A lot of credit cards, if you signed up for them, they have a thing if you've been laid off and you signed up for it. I think it's like some of them are $1.89 per month, and they take it out your credit card.
Yeah.
And if you are laid off, they allow you to tell them, oh, I've been laid off, and then they'll suspend your payments or waive the interest.
Right.
So a lot of credit cards, when you get them, look at those protection plans that they have. So if you are laid off, see if you signed up for those in the beginning, you don't realize it.
Yeah.
So don't avoid the calls.
Right. Definitely talk to them if you in good standing with them or decent standing. Talk to them, because they might be just calling to let you know that you did sign up for that job protection kind of thing, and you're still okay with them.
Yeah, a lot of credit cards do offer that protection when you sign up, especially the department store credit cards. A lot of them offer that protection. So find out. Don't avoid the collections. I know we were always, when we were younger, it was like, oh, the bill collectors is calling, don't answer the phone.
Right.
Don't avoid them, because some of them are actually do care and want to put you on some type of payment plan where you can get involved. Credit is important. It's not going anywhere. Just make sure. So we just want to make sure that you know. We'll do an actual podcast on credit in more detail. We'll talk about loans. We'll
bring Courtney back.
We'll bring Courtney back on.
Maybe
one
if
of
you
our
guys
actual
have some
podcasts.
questions for her, we can do like a questions Q&A podcast for you guys so she can answer more questions, because these are just our questions. If you guys have personal questions or things like that, that'd be helpful.
Yeah.
So you can always follow her at.
I'm Courtney Jade on Instagram. Courtney with the K, y'all.
And you can always follow us at Two Diverse Moms on all social media platforms. You can watch us on YouTube at Two Diverse Moms. We'll be live every Saturday with different content.
Yes, every Saturday.
And her company, she's not excited about this live. But Credit Connect is her actual business. She's actually into helping people. Follow her.
It's not a scam, y'all. She is not scamming you.
No,
she is not trying to steal your identity. She is not trying to take your money. She is very much
A real
great
person.
at customer service and a real person.
Yes.
And like she said, she's looking to give you healthy credit scores.
Yes.
So don't be yelling at her if it only moved up 5 points. It's still a healthier score.
I mean, she
Right.
can't make a miracle if you don't got nothing on your credit to boost up. Like, if you have nothing on your credit, she can't do anything with
I can't pull scores out the air.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not just going to grab a 7 and throw it at you.
Yeah.
But I can help you get there if you just do the process and
Yeah.
stick with us, for sure.
Just because you use Courtney doesn't mean you're going to get an 800 score automatically. Like,
Right.
that is not what she is here
No.
for. It's not to make a credit score.
Yeah.
It is to get you a healthy credit score.
Right.
So, we are glad that you joined us for our live. So we appreciate you. Make sure you watch our last YouTube video. It is pinned in the bottom of the comments. We talked about, can you mix love with money? You know, our opinions, like I said, we still looking for a glucose guardian to take care of us. Like, fuck you,
Glucose
Rules
guardian.
podcast. He said he pay all the bills.
He didn't say he was a glucose guardian. He just said he was taking
I didn't
care.
say he said he was. I said
But
he
his brother
said-
might be a glucose
or his
guardian.
uncle. But no, Callie Bus said she already had dibs on a brother.
No, that was Lisa.
She ain't got dibs on shit. First ain't letting her do nothing. Anyways, but you can always follow us.
When money is involved, he has no cares.
Damn, you a prostitute. Never mind. You can always. Thank you guys for
That's so crazy.
joining us. We appreciate you guys.
Somebody's throwing hearts up.
It better be somebody. We appreciate y'all. We are leaving. So
Bye.